Research is hard, but your tools should not be. Subthesis.com is the free alternative to expensive software. Whether you need to calculate Cronbach's alpha or organize your field notes, Subthesis has a tool for it. No paywalls and no registration required. Check the link in the description and let's dive into today's lesson. Welcome back to the Graduate School Prep Series. This video addresses the practical reality of living on graduate student income. Graduate stipends, even generous ones, require careful management. You're likely earning less than you could in the professional workforce, and every dollar matters. Good budgeting during graduate school isn't just about survival, it's about reducing stress so you can focus on your education, avoiding debt accumulation beyond tuition, and building financial habits that serve you throughout your career. Many graduate students have never lived on limited income before. They struggle with the transition from undergraduate life supported by family or from professional salaries they've become accustomed to. By the end of this video, you'll have practical strategies for creating and maintaining a budget that works on graduate student income. Here's what you'll learn. First, you'll create realistic budgets based on actual graduate student income and expenses. Realistic means workable, not aspirational. Second, you'll identify specific strategies for reducing expenses during graduate school without sacrificing essentials. Smart choices create room in tight budgets. Third, you'll learn to manage irregular income and unexpected expenses, common challenges for graduate students with variable funding sources. Fourth, you'll build financial resilience that helps you weather challenges and complete your program without financial crisis derailing your education. Let's start with understanding the graduate student financial landscape. Let's be honest about the graduate student financial reality. Graduate stipends typically range from $18,000 to $35,000 annually, varying by field, institution, and cost of living. Some high-cost areas offer more, some programs offer less. Know what you're working with. Living costs vary dramatically by location. A $25,000 stipend in a rural college town provides a different lifestyle than the same amount in San Francisco or New York. Cost of living determines how far your stipend actually goes. Income may be inconsistent across semesters. Some students receive 9-month stipends with summer gaps. Some have year-to-year funding uncertainty. Some piece together multiple income sources that fluctuate. Budget for the reality of inconsistent income. Financial stress directly affects academic performance. Studies consistently show that financial worry reduces cognitive capacity and academic focus. Managing money well isn't just about finances, it's about creating conditions for academic success. Start your budget by accurately understanding your income. Your primary income is likely your stipend or fellowship amount. Know whether this is for 9 months or 12 months. Understand when payments arrive. Determine the after-tax amount since stipends are often taxable income. Secondary income might include part-time work, teaching additional courses, or summer employment. Be realistic about what you can actually earn while maintaining academic progress. Supplementary income might include scholarships, grants for research expenses, or family support if applicable. Don't count income you're not certain to receive. Calculate your monthly after-tax income accurately. Divide annual amounts by 12 for monthly budgeting purposes. If you receive 9 months of income, divide by 9 and plan separately for summer months. Your budget must be based on actual money coming in, not theoretical maximum or hoped-for amounts. Fixed expenses are relatively consistent monthly costs you must pay. Housing is typically your largest fixed expense. Include rent or mortgage, utilities like electricity, gas, water, and internet, and renter's insurance. If utilities vary seasonally, average them for budgeting. Transportation costs depend on your situation. This might include car payments, auto insurance, gas, maintenance, and parking. Or it might be a monthly transit pass if you rely on public transportation. Calculate your actual costs. Health expenses include insurance premiums if you pay them and regular medications. If insurance comes from your stipend before you receive it, account for that. If you pay directly, include it in your budget. Debt obligations include any loan payments due during school. If you're on income-driven repayment with $0 payments, this may be zero. If you have other debt like credit cards or personal loans, include minimum payments. Fixed expenses should be covered first in any budget. These are non-negotiable obligations that must be met. Variable expenses fluctuate and offer more flexibility for adjustment. Food costs include groceries and any dining out. Track your actual spending for a month or two to understand your patterns. Food is often an area where graduate students can find savings without major sacrifice. Personal expenses include clothing, toiletries, haircuts, and household items. These costs are real even if they don't occur monthly. Budget for them by averaging annual expected costs. Entertainment includes social activities, streaming subscriptions, hobbies, and recreation. Graduate school is stressful. Some entertainment budget is reasonable for mental health, but this is an area where cuts can be made if necessary. Academic expenses include books, supplies, software, and professional development like conference attendance. Some of these may be reimbursable through your program. Understand what's covered before budgeting. Variable expenses offer flexibility. When money is tight, these categories can be reduced. When you have more resources, you can spend more freely here. Now for the reality check. Subtract your total expected expenses from your total expected income. If you have a deficit where expenses exceed income, adjustments are necessary. This means either increasing income through additional work or reducing expenses through cuts. A deficit budget is not sustainable. If you have a small surplus, allocate it to savings for emergencies. Even $50 monthly builds an emergency fund over time. Small surpluses also provide buffer for expense fluctuation. If you have a larger surplus, you have options. You might increase savings, allow more entertainment spending, or invest in quality of life improvements. Larger surpluses are rare on graduate student income, but they do happen in well-funded programs in affordable locations. Be honest in this calculation. Underestimating expenses or overestimating income sets you up for budget failure. Use actual tracking data when possible rather than guesses. Housing is typically your largest expense and deserves strategic attention. The traditional guideline is 30% or less of income on housing. On a $24,000 stipend, that's $600 monthly. In some markets, this is achievable. In others, it's nearly impossible. Adjust for your location's reality. Consider roommates to reduce costs. Sharing a two-bedroom apartment with a roommate typically costs less per person than a one-bedroom alone. The trade-off is privacy and space, but the savings can be substantial. Location trade-offs exist between commute costs and rent. A cheaper apartment further from campus may seem advantageous, but add commute costs in time, gas, or transit fees. Sometimes paying more to live closer is economically neutral or better. Graduate student housing, where available, may offer value. University-owned housing is sometimes below market rate and includes utilities. Check what your institution offers before assuming you must find private housing. Food expenses offer significant savings opportunities without sacrificing nutrition. Cooking at home dramatically reduces food costs compared to dining out or ordering delivery. A meal you cook costs a fraction of the same meal at a restaurant. Basic cooking skills pay financial dividends. Meal planning prevents food waste and reduces impulse purchases. Plan your week's meals, shop with a list, and buy what you'll actually use. Food waste is money waste. Use student discounts where available. Some grocery stores offer student discounts. Campus food services may be cheaper than restaurants. Food pantries serve students without judgment if you're truly struggling. Budget for occasional social dining. Graduate school involves social meals, coffee with colleagues, dinner with visiting speakers, celebrations with cohort. Don't budget so tightly that you can't participate in normal academic social life. Just be intentional about these expenses rather than defaulting to eating out. Transportation costs vary enormously based on choices and circumstances. Use campus transit and bike infrastructure where available. Many universities offer free or subsidized transit passes to students. Biking is free beyond the initial bike cost. Walking costs nothing. Before budgeting for transportation, know what free options exist. Consider whether car ownership is actually necessary. Cars are expensive. Payments, insurance, gas, maintenance, parking. If public transit and biking can meet your needs, avoiding car ownership saves substantially. This is location dependent. Some places require cars, others don't. If you drive, maintain your vehicle properly. Regular maintenance prevents costly breakdowns. An oil change is cheaper than an engine repair. Deferred maintenance creates bigger expenses later. Carpool when possible for regular trips. Sharing rides to campus or splitting costs on longer trips reduces per-person expenses. This requires coordination but offers real savings. Healthcare costs require attention but shouldn't be neglected to save money. Understand your student health insurance coverage. What's covered? What are the co-pays and deductibles? Knowing your insurance helps you use it effectively and avoid surprise bills. Use campus health services for basic medical needs. University health centers often provide care at reduced cost to students. They're designed for the student population and understand student constraints. Don't skip necessary care to save money. An untreated infection becomes a serious illness. An ignored mental health crisis becomes a failed semester. Investing in health is investing in your ability to complete your program. Mental health resources are particularly important given graduate school stress levels. Counseling centers, support groups, and mental health services are often available at reduced or no cost to students. Use them. Graduate students face elevated rates of anxiety and depression. Support exists. Academic expenses add up but can be managed strategically. Use library resources for books when possible. Libraries have course reserves, interlibrary loan, and electronic resources. Before buying any book, check whether you can access it through the library. Buy used textbooks or previous editions when purchasing is necessary. Used books cost a fraction of new ones. Older editions often contain the same core content. Check with professors whether the latest edition is truly necessary. Apply for travel grants for conferences and professional development. Programs, departments, and professional associations often have funds for student conference attendance. The money exists, you have to apply for it. Understand what your program covers. Some programs provide book allowances, software licenses, or professional development funds. Know what resources exist before paying out of pocket for things your program would cover. Many graduate students face irregular income that requires specific management strategies. Budget based on your lowest expected monthly income. If some months bring more, great, but build your spending baseline around what you're certain to have. This prevents overcommitting in flush periods. Save surplus from high-income months to cover lean months. When you receive more than baseline, set the excess aside for when you receive less. This smoothing allows consistent spending despite inconsistent income. Plan specifically for summer funding gaps if your stipend covers only the academic year. 3 months without income requires either summer employment, saved funds from the academic year, or alternative plans. Don't let summer arrive without a plan. Avoid lifestyle inflation during high-income periods. When summer employment or a fellowship provides extra money, resist the temptation to increase spending permanently. Temporary income increases shouldn't create permanent expense increases. An emergency fund provides crucial financial resilience on limited income. Start small if necessary. Even $500 provides meaningful buffer for unexpected expenses, car repair, medical copay, broken laptop. Don't be discouraged by inability to save thousands immediately. Target eventually 1 to 3 months of expenses. This provides security against larger emergencies or income disruptions. It takes time to build, but the security is worth the effort. Keep emergency funds in an accessible savings account, not invested in the market. You need this money available immediately when emergencies arise. A high-yield savings account balances accessibility with modest returns. Use emergency funds only for genuine emergencies. A sale at a store isn't an emergency. An opportunity to travel isn't an emergency. A car breakdown or medical emergency is. Protect this fund for its intended purpose. A budget only works if you track against it and adjust as needed. Track actual spending against your budget categories. Know where your money actually goes, not just where you planned for it to go. Tracking reveals patterns you might not notice otherwise. Review and adjust monthly. Compare actual spending to budget. Adjust categories that consistently run over or under. Budgets should evolve with your circumstances. Use tracking tools that work for you. Apps like Mint, YNAB, or simple spreadsheets all work. The best tool is one you'll actually use consistently. Don't overcomplicate if simple methods work. Don't beat yourself up over imperfect months. Budgets are tools for awareness and improvement, not perfection standards. A month over budget provides information for adjustment. Learn from it rather than feeling like a failure. Student status provides access to numerous discounts and free resources. Software often comes free or discounted for students. Microsoft Office, Adobe Creative Suite, statistical software, and specialized research tools may be free through your institution. Check before buying any software. Entertainment discounts abound. Museums, theaters, and cultural institutions often offer student rates. Streaming services like Spotify and Amazon Prime have student pricing. Movies, concerts, and events frequently discount for students. Retail discounts exist at many stores. Clothing retailers, electronics stores, and local businesses often offer student discounts. Always ask or look for student pricing. Your student ID is a discount card. Services like banking and phone plans may have student options. Student bank accounts often waive fees. Some phone carriers offer student plans with reduced rates. Investigate options before assuming you must pay full price. Over a multi-year graduate program, student discounts accumulate to significant savings. Use your status while you have it. Avoiding unnecessary debt accumulation protects your financial future. Credit cards are tools for convenience and building credit, not sources of income. If you can't pay the balance monthly, you're living beyond your means. Credit card debt at high interest rates is financially devastating. Avoid borrowing beyond tuition costs if at all possible. Every dollar borrowed for living expenses is a dollar plus interest you'll repay later. The convenience of more money now creates burden later. If you're genuinely struggling financially, seek assistance before debt accumulates. Financial aid offices can help identify resources. Emergency assistance programs exist. Food pantries serve students. Asking for help is better than silent debt accumulation. Lifestyle creep financed by debt is particularly dangerous. Borrowing to maintain a lifestyle your income doesn't support creates a structural deficit that compounds over time. Adjust your lifestyle to your income rather than borrowing to close the gap. While managing present constraints, keep future financial health in mind. Think beyond graduation finances. You're not a graduate student forever. Consider how current decisions affect your financial trajectory. Are you building toward financial health or creating future problems? Consider retirement savings even in small amounts if possible. Compound growth over time makes early contributions valuable even when small. If your stipend qualifies you for an IRA and you can spare even modest amounts, future you will appreciate it. Build credit responsibly now. Using a credit card for regular purchases and paying it off monthly builds credit history without debt. Good credit enables better loan terms, apartment approvals, and other opportunities after graduation. Position yourself for post-graduation financial health. Graduate school is temporary. The financial habits and position you build now affect your early career options. Emerge from graduate school with manageable debt, solid credit, and good financial habits. If you're struggling financially, help exists. Use it. Financial aid offices can identify resources you may not know about. Additional scholarships, emergency grants, and support programs exist. Meet with financial aid staff to explore options. Emergency assistance funds exist at most institutions for students facing unexpected hardship. Medical emergencies, family crises, or sudden income loss may qualify you for emergency support. These funds exist to be used. Community resources serve students alongside other community members. Food banks provide food without judgment. Utility assistance programs help with bills. Housing assistance programs exist. Your student status doesn't disqualify you from community support. Don't let pride prevent you from accessing help you need. Using support services during difficult times is responsible, not shameful. Graduate programs benefit when students complete rather than dropping out due to financial crisis. Institutions want you to access available support. Let's summarize the key points about budgeting as a graduate student. Create realistic budgets based on your actual income and actual expenses. Use tracking data rather than guesses. A workable budget reflects reality, not hope. Reduce expenses strategically while protecting essentials. Housing, food, healthcare, and academic needs must be covered. Flexibility exists in entertainment, convenience spending, and lifestyle choices. Make intentional trade-offs. Build emergency savings even from limited income and avoid unnecessary debt accumulation. Small savings build resilience over time. Debt beyond tuition creates burden that follows you after graduation. Use available student resources and seek help when struggling. Discounts, free services, and support programs exist. Financial crisis shouldn't derail your education when help is available. This completes Section B on funding your graduate education. You now understand funding sources, loan management, and practical budgeting for the graduate school years. In Section C, we'll turn to academic skills fundamentals, covering the essential capabilities for graduate level success. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in Section C. Writing the thesis is a marathon, not a sprint, but you do not have to run it alone. If you are feeling stuck with your data or overwhelmed by your sources, let us help. Head over to subthesis.com. It is completely free and designed to make your life easier. You are making progress. Keep going. And don't forget to subscribe for more support.